Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Collectible Closeups with me, IdArmed. I hope you're all doing well today. So, when you're a reviewer, you ever have that one figure you just want to take off the shelf and review? Well, that is today's review. Because I didn't want to do a full IdArmed review on it, but it's a fun figure and I did want to talk about it since I did get it recently this year. So, today we'll be talking about the Transformers War for Cybertron Siege Deluxe Class Crosshairs. He released back in 2019 as part of the last wave of Siege, and he is a repaint with a new head retool of Ironhide. But that also means he shares lots of parts with Ratchet, who also released in the same line. Let's get into it. As expected, from this mold, he turns into what is described as a Cybertronian van, which is different from Crosshair's original alt mode of a futuristic monster truck kind of vehicle. It had big wheels, pretty much. That's the only real difference, and like it was a lot, I don't know, more squished. To be exact, that's probably the best word I describe it. But I do enjoy its look as a van, and what helps it look really nice is the selection of colors with the red paint, I believe, there is plastic and paint on this, and the blues, blacks, and the white paint throughout all help to make him stand out from his mold mates. And as well as one of my favorite things when it comes to modern Transformers toys, the inclusion of toy tampographs. I probably made it clear in my SS86 Jazz Repro label video, but I live for this stuff, and I love to see it when Hasbro themselves do, and we don't have to get them through toy hacks in the first place. Otherwise, there's not too much I can say. You guys have probably seen this mold plenty of times since, it's also where the Earthrise van mold came from. So, let's get this over with quickly. For a quick comparison, here he is with Siege Ratchet, and because I don't actually have Siege Ironhide anymore, Earthrise Ironhide. So all of these are pretty much the same base design but different tooling. So especially with Ratchet, you can see that like these panels up here are different. What will be the shoulders are different. The bumpers are different. The side panels are actually the same, but like I said, these are different. Even the tops are different. The wheels are even different, I believe. Try to get the focus. And I believe, even down here, what will be the back of the legs are different. So it's incredible how much work they went into this. And then moving Ratchet off to the side with Ironhide, I mean, at first glance, there are some parts I believe that match, most notably the wheels. Ironhides are just a bit on the lighter side. For the most part, you couldn't really tell that these are the same mold. So it's pretty incredible how different they all feel, but at the same time they all feel the same. And now, before we transform Crosshairs into robot mode, I did want to show off the sole accessory he comes with, which is his missile launcher, and this is the exact same one that Ironhide comes with, and I don't think any other figures, it's just these two that come with this hammer accessory as far as I know. Molded in black with red paint and silver paint up on the front. It is very nice, and of course lots of handles, and if you already know, it turns into a warhammer. And I just like to plug it right up here. So that's Crosshair's vehicle mode. Let's get him transformed. Now in Crosshair's robot mode, I have to say, out of all, 6 versions of this mold we've gotten between Siege and Earthrise, he might be my favorite I've owned so far, just for the fact that he has so much sheer variety in his color, and not being an Ironhide or Ratchet, he already sets himself apart from the others. So let's get this out of the way, and like I mentioned, it turns into a rocket as well, or a rocket launcher, because we're in sand, and I believe these accept blast effects, but I've never actually tried it on my copy. But we're going to put that off to the side. Crosshairs himself, like I said, I really love it, especially with just how much more red and white pops out from that transformation, especially all in the chest. But there'll be fair warning, that is all painted. Let's take a look at his head sculpt. That is a really great head sculpt. If I could get it, we go. I'm happy they went with the, what is it? I believe it's based on the Sunbow cartoon and the commercials instead of the kind of Ironhide-ish face he had in the original toy. I do prefer that because it just sets him apart. Also, I think he used it in Marvel too, so any Marvel reference is appreciated by me. Let's get this zoomed out. And again, the toy tampos really help to accentuate any details he has in his legs. Back's pretty bare, lots of gaps, but of course there are gap filler kits, but I don't really care about those, honestly. The Autobot symbol kind of just being very clear. I do like that on having it right there. And then for battle damage, due to him being released at the end of Siege when they kind of stopped caring about that, except for A-Face for some reason, he does have some paint on his feet, just like Ironhide did, I believe, and Ratchet. They all had battle damage on their feet, I believe. Quickly covering articulation on him. It's what you expect again. Get a 360 at the head, up, down, side, side. The arms go out that far and rotate 360. Bicep swivel, elbow bend, wrist rotation. It's actually pretty tight on my copy. Wow. Waist rotation. Hips that go forward this far, back that far. That's really cool. Can do full splits, thigh swivel, bend at the knee, and a very good ankle tilt. So if you're able to, Crosshairs is able to assume many positions, and it also helps that he does have a stand port right on his butt. So quite the fantastic robot mode. One last thing I want to point out before we conclude the video is that let's just quickly bring in Siege Ratchet and Earthrise Ironhide from the past few years, all sharing the same base mold, but they all totally bring something new. Whether, of course, it's the colors, each of their weapons, pistol, or of course the new parts they bring, like how Crosshairs and Ratchet are very similar but also very different at the same time. And Ironhide's a whole nother beast with his new toolings, as well as the big shield that slaps on top. So if I was going to ask you, or if you were going to ask me, hey, which one do you think is the best, it really is a difficult one, just due to how different they each bring. But of course, this guy, like I said, aesthetically wise, at the very least, is still my favorite. And so that was my review on War for Cybertron Siege Crosshairs. If you can't tell, I really do enjoy the figure. If you already own Ratchet and Ironhide or whatever retools they've gotten the past 2 years, I still recommend him because he does bring something new to the table with that excellent head sculpt, the really cool plastic and paint colors given, and if you have Netflix Pinpointer from Netflix Megatron that came out last year, he's obviously the add-on, or Pinpointer's the add-on to this, or whatever you want to say. They make a really good pair. I can grab one day. Now, I don't know how easy this is to find anymore. I don't really see them pop up on the forums, eBay, and nowhere like that. Instead, I got this from my friend Firebite27. If you're watching this, dude, thank you so much for helping me get this for a really good deal. But with that, that is my collectible close-up for Siege Crosshairs. So I hope you guys all enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Have a wonderful day. Bye.